final picture.
When you think of creatures driven to madness by copious amounts of radiation, you think King Kong and Godzilla. And why not? In many ways, they were pioneers in the genre of monster films, some of the original creature features. And as we first compare the old films, we see why. The 1933 film King Kong puts me in a very precarious position. As you know, I love films. And while there are some I come across that I don't care for or outright dislike, there are very few that I hate. King Kong just happens to be one of those. For one, there's a disturbing amount of racial insensitivity and general stereotypes. And the acting is pedestrian at best. But as much as it pains me to say this, it was actually better than 1954's Godzilla. And there were a few deciding factors. The biggest of which being flow. In King Kong, Clark discovers Fay. They get the boat to the island, find Kong, lose Fay, get her back, capture Kong, bring him back. He climbs the tower, rat-a-tat, ratatouille, film over. It's cut and dry into the chase, exactly what this film needs. Godzilla, on the other hand, gets caught up on so many levels that it makes the film unbearable to watch. We have this extremely long-winded meeting here, and of course convincing Captain Crunch to give the formula to kill Godzilla. Those two parts alone adding up to over half an hour of the film. But when we compare the new films, we see the roles to be reversed. This time it's Peter Jackson's 3-hour, 7-minute offering that forsakes a streamlined plot. For whatever reason, we have just too many parts that do not need to be added. We have several scenes of Anne performing vaudeville for Kong, and even the two of them going ice skating in Central Park. And we can't forget the fact that the new Godzilla has better acting than the new King Kong. Yes, weepy Elizabeth Olsen notwithstanding. This scene right here was actually the clincher for me, featuring an unfortunately short-lived Brian Cranston.
I'm sorry.
With originality being our final category, there's only one true determining factor in my mind. Both are normal animals on steroids type of stories. But the story of Kong is more of an original venture than that of Godzilla. If you know anything about 50s and 60s sci-fi films, you would know that radioactive animals are not at all uncommon. We have radioactive crabs, radioactive ants, radioactive thing that stole Donald Trump's hair. However, with Kong, we have an island forsaken by time where evolution produces super beasts. When you look at it that way, it is very original, even if an ape at the end of the day takes center stage. So in my mind, Kong remains king. But that's only my take. I want to hear from you. Who's your pick, and who do you think should be next? And I'll see you Tuesday when I'm joined by a flock of Southern Finches.
Tiptoe by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips.